Hello, and thank you for returning to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. And today, we shall discuss Ripple and XRP. We have a lot of ground to cover, and I want you guys to know that the connections we make matter. There is no limit to its usefulness because of how important interpersonal links are in the business world, especially when dealing with large financial institutions. When it comes to making connections with powerful people, Ripple appears to be the front runner. So, to sum up, watch the whole thing. To kick things off, I'd want to bring up this tweet from Blockworks, which is news about Galaxy's CEO Mike Novogratz, about whom we have a somewhat, different opinion. Mikey, what's up, Mike? But he did say that the Ripple rolling shook the SEC to its foundations. Now hear me out, I think the rolled out ripples have major implications. I know, this is not breaking news. However, in my opinion, the SEC has reached a dead end and must now humbly make its way down that path. First of all, it unleashed a flood of previously undisclosed facts about Bill Hemmen and the Hem and emails. This is a matter of great importance. And seriously, I repeat this all the time, in this forum, we must do away with the abolitionist SEC. Sure, there must have been waves. The effect was widespread, like a shockwave through the business world. We saw that all around the sector, not just at the SEC. And, as an XRP holder, it was quite thrilling. And I believe its importance is greater now than it has ever been. The news that the Federal Reserve has released a framework for regulating crypto-related activities at US banks is breaking, so let me also pop over here. The fact that the FedNow service just went live last month makes this much more intriguing. We're now being presented with this. There are, however, a few points I'd like to highlight. To begin, you already have an idea of how a blog announcement actually functions. The Federal Reserve Board, which I will discuss next, has a program in place to keep an eye on anything out of the ordinary happening at the banks it regulates. First and foremost, we can see down here that regulators will increase oversight of novel activities like crypto asset custody, crypto collateralized lending, crypto asset trading facilitation, and stablecoin/dollar token issuance or distribution, as stated in a published outline of the program's aims. Distributed ledger technologies and other technology-driven partnerships with non-banks to supply financial services to customers will also be a major emphasis of the initiative. This is of crucial importance. Over here, we see something that's similar. Except that they seem to be concentrating especially on stable coins. Hear me out on this, I've already discussed stable coins. They've talked about how great and reliable XRP is. So, yes, I agree that stable coins is a really loaded term. You all are aware of the efforts made to dissuade the general population from realizing crypto's potential. In my opinion, that is exactly what the stable coin can do. Maybe they're just trying to manipulate the audience with their lack of understanding, but I doubt it. The fact that it comes from the Federal Reserve further adds to my belief that this is a major development. This is a really bold claim. You should also keep in mind that many people have just very lately made the connection between the Federal Reserve and some very major players in the Ripple market. And, hey, does Ripple collaborate with the Fed? Since I've already expounded upon this topic numerous times. One of the most important things I'll say is that the Ripple Board of Directors, and those who came before them, cannot be ignored. Heading over this way. Michael S. Barr, Vice Chair for Supervision of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, has provided us with the following information. The fact that we can trace his time at Ripple back to July 2015 makes him a major player. Michael S. Barr, formerly of the Treasury, has joined Ripple Labs. Of course, this is only one example among many. When discussing former employees of Ripple, I usually stress the fact that they recognized the company's potential and left because of it. Consider what Barr has to say about the matter. I'm thrilled to have been invited to join Ripple Labs' advisory board. I believe that innovation in payments can help make the financial system more secure, cheaper, and more accessible to consumers and businesses alike, all while modernizing our outmoded global payment system. Very intriguing. Also, before joining the Federal Reserve, this person served on the FDIC Committee on Economic Inclusion, the Washington Center for Equitable Growth, and the U.S. Financial Diaries Project, all of which are examples of private sector government and nonprofit advisory boards. I know, right? As a result of our direct collaboration with the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, the central bank for central banks, we are starting to witness waves. One thing I will say is that I have stated this previously, way back on July 9th of this year, if you can believe it. There you go. The other day, I discovered a couple documents with the IMF and utility theory that shared a ton of information, and I mentioned that while retail remains sidetracked by junk, I continue to focus on the larger linkages behind the scenes. I am taking a chance and putting my money on the utility assets that are referenced in the IMF/its latest world documents or the World Bank documents already, such as XRP, X, LM, SDC, Q, T, etc., because these documents confirm with absolute certainty that a systemic change is coming to the global financial system. I have faith in a number of different endeavors as well. I brought them up as well. Practicality is and always will be paramount. But first, we must collect all of the trash in this area into a rug-sized regulatory pool. Networking and/or connections are in progress. Giants in the international system are currently testing and trialing this technology. The clock is ticking, and progress is rapid, yet, not everyone is aware of this, therefore I'm retweeting this to spread the word. In this video, I will be participating. It's around 3 minutes long and it's something I made. Pay close attention to this clip. The links between Ripple and the new financial system aren't getting the attention they deserve. Ripple, represented by Brooks and Twistle, will be in attendance at various events hosted by major institutions like the BIS. The result of this cooperative effort is a novel payment mechanism. Meanwhile, let's rewind to the year 2017, distributed ledger technology in financial transactions like as clearing and settlement. As of late, we can also rewind to the beginning of the year 2021. Please let me see the financial ledgers and how the money is managed. This year's DLT settlements pilots were completed by the Bank of International Settlements and the Bank of England on April 19. This is the process of coordinating its RTGS system with another RTGS system. In addition, on June 16 of this year, tests of the CDC protocol using blockchain have been completed by the Bank of International Settlements and the Bank of England. Quantum computing applied to distributed ledgers. Yes, we are highly exposed to Bitcoin Ethereum thanks to quantum over ledger technology. Polygonal polka dots and the Hyperledger Pursuit of XRP SDC also. Keep an eye on Hyperledger Pursuit and the Hyperledger Fabric, as that is where you will find references to Hadoop, Casper, and other distributed ledger technologies, DLTs. When examining the connections between major central banks and institutions and emerging technologies, it's important to remember that the Bank of England CVC trial involves the synchronization of two central bank digital currencies, a process that dates back to July of 2017. A proof of concept involving Ripple's Connect and the Interledger Protocol and the Bank of England's efforts to synchronize two currencies across two real-time gross settlement systems is in the works. It makes no difference if you use ILP or a quantum approach. We are aware that synchronization has been accomplished and that ripples have been utilized in a proof of concept. Not that I'm saying this will be used in every possible ripple effect. I'm just stating that the drive towards the new financial system here is being confirmed 100% by the key agencies like the BIS, the Bank of England, and the IMF. I explained this in greater detail on Twitter in relation to the latest IMF report. I've included a link at the end of these tweets in case any of you are interested in checking it out. As we take a closer look at current events, I've even gone so far as to say over here that these documents' most interesting aspect isn't the links to specific assets or projects, but rather the confirmation of the disruption behind them and of what is actually happening around the IMS, the International Monetary System, via these technologies and these currencies. That being said, I appreciate you all tuning in. I appreciate your attention. If you did like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and giving me a follow on Twitter. You guys rock, thanks for watching. Yes, this is what I mean by the many interconnected parts of the ripple effect. There is absolutely no possibility in my view that they are not. There is no doubt in my opinion that this new system is integral to the ripple effect. Let's refer back to Matthew Lin Y's original post. It's July of this year, and here's the BIS. This new financial system was discussed at a meeting between Brooks Entwistle and the BIS earlier this month. Task force makeup considering international currency transfers, data sharing, and network growth. Look at this. That settles the matter. Who else is down here, anyway? Ripple origin? I'm going to make a hash of her surname, Renee. I'm just going to come out and say it. Don't be rude to me in the feedback section. Boysen, Ripple's director of PIM operations. Many more factors are at play here. RTGS Worldwide, a firm with ties to Ripple from a variety of projects. They can be traced back to two organizations, the Digital Pen Foundation and the Digital Euro Association. Wells Fargo is also located over here. So many titans, yet there is still a wave. Bank of China, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and Deutsche Bank are all neighbors, just like Ripple. Look at all these huge Wells Fargos on here, what else could you possibly want? In addition, Chadston Grabber is over here. Did you know that Ripple is collaborating closely with the BIS on the Cross-Border Payments and Traceability Task Force? This is the same group that eventually led to the creation of the Federal Reserve, only this time the Ripple network is prepared to process international transactions. And yeah, I mean, listen, as we were looking at everything that's occurring here, there is no doubt in my view that Ripple is connected to everything, including discussions of regulations. Don't forget this tweet, which I've already referenced in multiple videos due to its significance. By 2025, new rules will be implemented. That is something we are well aware of. But by September 2023, we also have a plan in place. Recent documentation from Ripple on international payments included reference to the Financial Stability Board, and we know that the FSB offered suggestions to Ripple on how to comply with financial regulations. Right. These are the suggested actions. As of the 15th of December, 2022. As the FSB, which received instructions from the IMF, the BIS, and the G20, Ripple was entitled to weigh in on the structure of cryptographic regulations around the world. As an aside, we know that in 2020 Brad Garlinghouse was talking of a unified international playing field. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The source of that wave is the new financial system on which they are collaborating closely with the powerful. I placed a significant wager on XRP because of this very reason. In addition, JP Morgan did an ISO 2002 tipping point analysis. Simultaneous effectiveness. Let's look at this from the past tense now. It's worth noting that ISO 2002 too isn't brand new. In fact, several low and high-value payment systems in more than 7 nations have already adapted it. What's noteworthy, though, is that in the next couple of years, we'll reach a tipping point and a critical mass in which over 80% of the world's transactions or payments will be processed through ISO standards, as high-value payment systems for major currencies like the euro and the US dollar in GDP move to ISO. Why, then, should a 5 deficit, and this is happening at this very moment? With ISO 2002, we've reached a critical stage. There is a beautiful alignment between two rules. Do you observe Ripple's recent meetings with behemoths like the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, often called the Central Bank of Central Banks? I'm telling you, this is huge for XRP, so if you see it, click the like button and leave a comment below. See you soon, bye.